Hello guys. You are on the channel Alice Reddit Stories. Enjoy watching. Edit. I'm just going through all of your messages, was not expecting this to get so big. A lot of very conflicting opinions, which is interesting. I really appreciate the kind comments letting me know I should do some introspection. That is largely why I made the post. I'll make this short so I don't bore you. My husband is autistic, but he's highly functioning. He prefers this term. I know it's offensive to some, and so he does fully understand social situations, consequences, etc. We have been together 5 years, married for 4. He made friends with a woman on a neurotypical/neurodiverse relationship support group on Facebook. I'm not sure of her age, around 30-ish. She is neurotypical, and made a post crying about how hard her relationship is with her autistic boyfriend, and he commented on the post. She asked if she could DM him to talk further, and he said yes. Since then, they have been chatting for months. He has always offered to let me see the messages, but I don't because I don't want to. He tells me all about her at length, and sends me screenshots of things she says. Seems like she's always crying about how awful her boyfriend is, and how she's finally thinking of leaving him, and what my husband thinks about that. I cringe every time he talks about her. He doesn't talk about his life to her, other than we are having a baby. I'm 15 weeks pregnant. That's it. I didn't even feel comfortable with her knowing that. It's none of her business and he didn't ask first. The relationship makes me really uncomfortable, and I don't know what to do. I have already communicated that it makes me uncomfortable, and he asked me if I would like him to stop talking to her. I told him it doesn't feel right for me to make that decision. That was 2 months ago. Today he forwarded me this message from her. You make it easy. I appreciate I can be vulnerable with no judgment and you can actually relate. And the fact that you're willing to listen to my issues while you have a baby on the way is admirable. Thank you for becoming a good friend of mine. Also, if you ever have any concerns or questions, I'm always here to listen to. It's not always about me, lol. And he says to me, she is very kind to me. 3. Whenever he sends me these, I give him a thumbs up in the chat and ignore it. Like. Their whole relationship is they talk about how shitty her boyfriend is. I don't know what he even means by she's kind to me. LOL, she only talks about herself. What do I do here? Am I just being dramatic? How do I respond from here? I also wanted to say he has a bunch of friends from high school he sees weekly, so it's not like he's short on friends. TLDR, husband talks to random chick on the internet for months and it bugs me a lot. I'm a bit stuck on what to do. We've been together for 3 years, engaged for 2 months, come from a highly formally educated family. Both my folks have master's degrees, 3 of 4 of my grandparents attended college, and one of my siblings has a PhD. I've got my undergrad, but personally wouldn't have gone through with it had it not been on full scholarship, which I got because I had insane tiger parents. I've had a lovely career in a different field than I studied, and will not be treating my children in close to the same manner. Fiancé was not as fortunate. His family didn't put any value on education, so he was never pushed to be a good student, and very likely had a learning disorder that was never addressed. His dad ditched the family when he was 16 and he went to work to support his mom. He's highly intelligent and a hard worker, but he can come across as ignorant. His basic history knowledge is patchy, he struggles with writing, and he doesn't use proper grammar when he speaks. This hasn't been a hurdle in his professional or personal life, though. My parents haven't been very accepting of this. They only met him a few times while we were dating, since they live across the country from me and don't visit much. They were cold to him and kept leaving him out of conversation, even when it was on a subject my fiancé knows something about. Since we've gotten engaged, they've been begging me to turn him down and move on, with various hypothetical scenarios of how awful my life will be if I marry someone lacking in education. I've told them point blank they don't have any say in this decision, and I've been ignoring them since then. I'm fine limiting contact with my folks until they come around. They will eventually accept the situation. They behaved similarly when one sibling married at 21 and another enlisted in the military, but it's going to take longer than we'll be engaged. It's also not important to me to have a super close relationship with them. There have been periods of my life where we don't have any relationship. They aren't the greatest people, and I've gone all of my adult life without their financial or emotional support. However, fiancé is incredibly upset and wants them to like him. He knew this was going to be a possibility, but the reality hit him like a steamroller. I tried to prepare him for it as best I could, but given my parents don't visit often, and we have jobs that prevent us from flying clear across 3 time zones much, there weren't enough opportunities for him to see what kind of assholes they can be. He also really doesn't like the idea of limiting contact with my parents, though. He's tight with his own family and can't fathom the idea of mine being cut out. I'm not sure how to intervene on both fronts. My folks are going to need time and years to get used to this reality, and I'm not going to be able to force them to accept him. I don't think I can get my fiancé to just let the situation go and wait it out with me, though. TLDR parents don't support my engagement because my fiancé doesn't have an education. I don't care, but he really does. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. There are many interesting stories ahead of you.